Yo, what up? Carl, what's up, man? I'm in Arkansas now. I probably been in Arkansas about I don't know, like 15 minutes or so. Freaking state trooper got me in Tennessee, man. I swung down to South Haven, Mississippi. Holler at my boy. He changed my oil and stuff for me. And as soon as I jumped back on in the state, the police was sitting right there, pulled me over, did level one. But of course, your boy keep everything together. So no violations found. You know how it go. Gave him paperwork. Man, I ain't even see this. Man, I can't read. I can't can't read and drive. But yeah. So the man, the cop was cool though. So the reason he pulled me over was my fault. So I stopped. We changed my oil, all that. Dropped the trailer, went to my boy house, changed my oil and stuff. Got fuel. Well, while I did that, I took the signs off, and I forgot to put my freaking magnets back on my truck. So the cop see me loaded with nothing on the side of the truck, and he pulled me over. I'm like, man, I said, man, bro, I just took it off, and I forgot to put it back on there. And so, of course, they look at you in the face, watch your body language, all that, try to see if you're lying. But, like I told him, bro, I ain't got nothing to hide, man. I was like, man, I honestly forgot to put it on. What's going on, Ron? I couldn't see who else there was. Anthony, what's happening? Yeah, so I grabbed my magnums. I showed him. I'm like, bro, I just took them off. I forgot. So he questioned me about why did I take them off. Went through the whole spiel because I picked the load up in Tennessee. So he was wondering why I'm coming back up into Tennessee from Mississippi. So that was kind of suspicious. So I'm like, man, my boy lives right at the bottom of the exit when you cross. I was like, my boy lives right at the bottom of the exit. So I said, that's what I was doing, man. I said, I can point to his house from where we at right now. So I was like, I got my receipts, to show him where I was. I can show him to you. He like, I don't need all that, but he asked for everything: license, registration, CAL card, the whole nine. I gave it to him. And another thing, I had my fire department ID, which sits on top of my license. So I have to pull this out for to get to my license. And when he seen it, he kind of like relaxed. But but he checked everything, like signal lights, windshield wipers, the whole nine. They do when they do a level one. Went back, ran me for warrants and all that type stuff. Everything was good. Checked over my load, made sure it was secured properly, and came back questioning me again about where I picked up at, what time I picked up, like everything. Which I don't blame him. I mean, it is kind of suspicious if you look at it from his point of view. But I so answer every question he needed me to answer. I couldn't see said something doesn't help. But so yeah, so gave my book. I have my book organized with all my paperwork in, registration, CAL card, insurance, whatever he needed to know. Gave it to him in page protectors. So I just told him, slip page, whatever you need. Asked for my bill of lading, gave him that. License, medical card attached to my license. Uh, like I say, man, everything went really good. No complaints. Uh, and for the people who don't know, and you know, I somewhat found this out the hard way, but I was teaming with my boy at the time, so I didn't find it out the hard way. He found it out the hard way, and I learned from his mistakes. But every time you update your medical card, you got to go to the DMV and get it attached to your license. So the both of us had our medical cards with us, and the cops in Kansas still gave him a ticket for not having his medical card attached to his license, which that's stupid to me because if I have it with me, why have it attached to my license if I got it with me? But anyway, just so y'all don't get in trouble for it, go get your medical card attached to your license at the DMV, and you don't have to worry about arguing with no cop or not arguing with them and just getting a ticket for the crap. So that's some more advice for y'all as usual. I had like live last night. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but anyway, so, somebody, well, a few people have been asking me about, you know, hot shot, but question. Let me tell you, for whoever gonna look at this video, man, don't ask me no questions that you don't want to hear the answer to. Period. Do not even contact me if you don't want to hear the answers, because some people want answers that's gonna make them feel better. You know that this isn't gonna work, or whatever the case may be, but you want me to give you that answer to make you feel better. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. Find somebody else to do this, cause I'm not. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And uh, my one of my boys was talking about well, before I get to him, I few people ask about non-CDL hot shot or whatever, and Toe Pigley did a video on it about non-CDL hot shot and why you should get a CDL and why you should go with semi, et cetera, et cetera. Well, and he told the truth. It was straight facts that he spoke on there. I'm looking, got some dislikes. Were you mad at him because you want him to give you an answer to make you feel better? No, he's trying to help you not lose everything because you don't want to hear it. So you mad, you're gonna dislike his video. It was a good video. Period. You know? All right, so going a little further in detail about the trucking industry. A lot of people get tunnel vision because they see something they want and nothing else matters. For one, you have to understand economics. You need to understand the stock market, everything. Because when the stock market goes down or it crashes, guess what? It ain't as much freight moving. Period. There ain't no good paying loads or none of that crap. There are very few and far between. So you need to look deeper into the overall business of trucking. You need to know when to jump in. You need to know when to not jump in. You need to know when you need to go to a plan B. And really, the answer is out there if you look for it. Meaning, all you got to do is look at the news, look at, everything. Everything that happens in the world is gonna affect the trucking industry in some type of way. Period. It's gonna happen. Right now, I'm gonna give you a good example. And this is bad now. Don't get me wrong, it's bad. War, going to war is actually a good thing for the trucking industry because when they go to war, You have all these plants and warehouses producing products, guns, trucks, tires, whatever. You know, not just that, it's all kind of stuff. These military guys need the proper equipment when they're going to war. They need airplanes, helicopters, you name it. They get over to these places, third world countries. These troops have to build bridges. Oh, my DOT inspection went good. Just got pulled over because I forgot to put my freaking magnets, my decals on the side of my truck. But they went through, did another level 1 inspection, another good clean inspection. So I'm happy about that. But so like I was saying, like these troops need all kinds of equipment. I mean, even the freaking MREs, those have to be packaged and stuff somewhere, and it's got to be shipped to a base, and then from the base to overseas, wherever the troops gonna be at. So yeah, war is bad. You don't want to go to war. People gonna die. There's people loved ones. No matter if you're looking at it from an American, what's going on? From an American standpoint, like, hey, we don't want our person, our family members and U.S. troops to die. But at the same time, over in other countries, even though people have their own differences and they look at it, they're still human people. And the bombers and all that, and they believe they're gonna get all these wives and all that extra stuff that really don't even matter. I know they don't care, but it's still people over there, innocent people that get hurt that, you know, they don't want no part of war, period, at all. So yeah, war is bad, but war is good for the trucking industry overall, you know. So that's why I said, how everything in the world works. Just during Christmas time, let's give that example. All this stuff that needs to be shipped because a lot of people use dollars, and most of that stuff going in the dry van truck. So just doing that Christmas rush, dry van drivers is getting a lot of work. UPS, FedEx, I mean, you name it. Their demand increases big time. But this the things you need to know when you're going into the business. When you're choosing a particular type of truck you want to run, no matter the drive-in, flatbed, oil field may be. That's another thing. The oil field goes up and down all the time. So that's something you got to think about. When it's booming, it's booming. But you need to have a plan B when it starts to go to crap, too. And they start laying workers off and everything else. So I'm not discouraging anybody from doing it at all because it's good money in it. But it's not consistent. So when you're doing your research to get in the trucking industry, looking at all these different things, all overall, besides what you focus on, besides just what you're doing, but what's going on everywhere, overall, you know, the intermodal freight, all that, everything, some people in the wintertime, they do power only loads. So I'm just give you an example. Not saying exactly, I'm just give you an example. Somebody who normally pulls step deck trailers, all through the year. Well, of course, platform freight slows down when it starts to get cold. So what they do, they drop that and they do power unload, hook up to the trailer. It may be JB Hunt, it may be a Walmart account or whatever, and they just run dry van, all through the winter. Amazon account, all this type of stuff. So if you understand the market, if you understand the industry, it can help you with your decisions also. And I was thinking about that last night when people call me and they want to ask all these questions, and I give them an answer, and they don't really like the answer because They want to do what they want to do. Well, do what you want to do and don't call me. Period. If you looking at this video, do not call me if you don't want to hear the truth. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to try to tell you something that's going to help you in the long run. You know, if you want to do something different, that's on you. But you got to think about this. If you have a family, yeah, exactly. You got the game for free. But like I say, you know, a lot of people have families. When you're making these decisions, you're not thinking about how it's going to affect your family. What's going on, Andre? 310, I couldn't see. I couldn't read everything. Holy. But when you're making these decisions, you better think about your family and how it's going to affect your household. Because I'm going to tell you right now, financial strain on your household has destroyed a lot of relationships. I don't care what nobody say, and hey, the person shouldn't be with you. You know, if it's just about money, blah blah blah. But who wants to struggle? Nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to do bad. You know, when you have mouths to feed. Oh, I thought this dude was pull in front of me. When you have mouths to feed and a wife, a girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, you're supposed to be the protector and the provider. If you can't protect or provide, what's your purpose of being there? She gonna leave, bro. She leaving. Period. She leaving. She might not leave today. What's going on, Jonathan? I couldn't read what it said. Maybe I screwed up on something I said. I don't know. But but like I say, you know, it has to be an equal balance at your house. What's going on? Live from the Bay. I got people in the Bay in Oakland. Got family out there and in LA. Yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, the decisions you make will affect your household. Period. There's no way around it. So you really need to think about what you do before you do it. Because if you just say you own a house, it ain't even got to be a house. It could be an apartment or anything. Your resident where you live. If you lose that because of bad decisions you make, and your wife or your girlfriend and your kids have to go find somewhere else to stay, man, it's gonna be tough resuscitating that relationship. I can tell you that. It's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough. Nobody don't be want to go. Nobody don't want to go household to household, and you know, interrupt their normal lifestyle. But besides that, it's embarrassing too. I done went on in depth about a whole lot of stuff, but I'm just giving y'all, you know, a lot of different ways of looking at things. You have to look at this stuff in depth because if not, it's gonna destroy you. David, what's going on? How you? What's going on, Tay? Are you in Dallas? Yeah, man. But yeah, I had to I had to deadhead for up to Brownville, Tennessee, pick up this load going down to the port. Uh, Man, the loads where I live, it was horrible, bro. It was horrible. And the bad part, after I booked this load, I seen probably it was some hours later after I booked this load. I probably seen like 7 really good loads. It seemed like that type of stuff happens for me so often. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and what's going on, Tara? Trying to go somewhere. What city? Oh, you finna ask what city? Yeah, man, Brownville, Tennessee. Uh, and I gotta take it down to the port, which is in Houston. Like I said, I didn't want to keep sitting around waiting. I got a decent rate on this load, but I got tired of sitting around because Monday I was waiting and waiting, didn't get a load. Okay, all the loads I was looking at was absolutely horrible, and the loads that did pay like extremely well, like extremely well. They wanted teams on every last one of them loads. I seen about 5 loads that paid like excellent, better than average. And they wanted teams on them, so I couldn't touch any of them loads. Tuesday come, and the same thing happened to me last week. I missed 2 days without a load because I'm sitting around like, bro, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that, and I'm refusing to run my truck just to have something on it. I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna spend money just to say I have a load. I I don't operate like that. I don't want to sit around because if you crunch numbers like I crunch, you will see it's a loss, and you wouldn't even call on the load. You just wouldn't call. You sit there and get to playing with numbers like I do. I'm like, okay, and I always calculate mine for worst case scenario too. Like on average, my truck get 10 to 11 miles to the gallon. Always calculate, and when I went to Georgia, that power on the load, I took to Georgia, so I bobtail all the way back. Just no load, just truck on it. My cruise control is set on 75 miles an hour, and I started looking at my fuel hand, and it wasn't moving for hours. So I thought something was wrong with it. So I went in and looked at what I was getting, miles per gallon, and it was 17. So I was getting 17 miles per gallon. So I can get 17 miles per gallon on an open road. No, not all these hills up and down, but just like, straight shot basically, or descending without a load on my truck. All right, loaded around, let's say 13, probably 13.5 and under. I'm getting about 8 to 10. I mean, not 8. I'm getting about 10 to 11 miles to the gallon. When I'm heavy, about 15, 16,000 pounds, I'm getting about 8 miles to the gallon. So I calculate everything at 8 miles to the gallon. I'm calculating, just say I got a deadhead from, I don't know, I probably went deadhead to Alabama, but just say I got a deadhead from Louisiana to Alabama. Just use this for example. And I don't know how many miles it is. Say it's just go. Well, what I do is I about 400. I'll read your message in a minute. I can't really see it right now, but I calculate. I divide the 8 into 400, whatever that number is. I calculate whatever the average fuel is at the time. I try to do it on the high end. So just say I'm using this for example now. Just say fuel. Hey, I'm coming through a bad area, so my phone's starting to go in and out. But anyway, I do $3.20 if that's on the high end at the time. $3.20 a gallon times however many gallons he said I gotta get, and that's including deadhead. And whatever that number is, I subtracted. This phone keep going in and out, but I calculate, that amount of money from the 1,500. I I put I write that. I calculate less or yeah. So I add less of what I'm spending on nothing else. What goes in my pocket. That's how yeah. So like I was saying, that's how, and at the end of the week, the profit at the end of the week, you still want to put 20% of that up. And the reason why, 10% is gonna go toward maintenance, and you're gonna put 10% up for taxes. Now, a lot of people, you then at the end of the year, you got more than enough money to put toward taxes. Oh man, yeah, this live's starting to turn out to be bad because of my signal suck. But I don't even remember what I was freaking talking about now. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna switch the subject now. Talk about something else. I hate when this crap happens. Frustrates the crap out of me. I have to go back, read the comment too, and I pull over, get fuel again. But alright, so the overall point of the whole video is knowing the business, knowing when to get in, when to get out, you know, uh, knowing what's going on in the world, knowing how it's gonna affect you, and that's it. So, and my level one inspection went good. So that was the top. So that's all I wanted to talk about. And if anybody have any short questions that I can read, that I can look at, I will read them and answer the questions. If you got a long message, there's no way possible I can look at that right now. What you miss? Oh man, I talked about everything. I didn't intend on it, but I kind of talked about everything. What you think? Some builders vehicle to purchase. What type of vehicle to purchase? I don't really have no facts to bag it up, but you know, average pay per mile on what? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be different depending on what type of equipment you're running. I mean, high shot rate might be high shot. Uh, average on a high shot. It's hard to say because I don't know. I don't know much about lease purchase at all. I can't even answer that question. But as far as high shot, uh, man, it is. I can't really give you a solid number because the high shot market is so messed up, man. These brokers, they're gonna try to rip you off. I ain't gonna say try. They're gonna rip you off. Period. They're gonna rip you off, and you know you'll refuse to run a load because the load don't pay enough. They want to get over on you, and what they're gonna do is They just gonna sit on it because there's gonna be some desperate person out there. Because there's tons and tons and tons and tons of desperate people out there. They're gonna run that same load for pennies. So that load is gonna get moved regardless. So it's kind of hard for me to say because the industry is so messed up, man. It's saturated with people that's running loads of pennies. I was on Load Boy last night. I seen load on there for 69 cents a mile, and it was like a 14,000-pound load. So full freaking load for 69 cents a mile. And you know why that exists? Because they know somebody's gonna run it. They know that. So it's really hard to say, what's the average rate per mile. The best thing you can do for yourself is know your operating costs. I'm talking about what your truck average on the miles you get into a gallon. You need to calculate how often, if you get oil change every 3 months or every month or whatever, every 3 weeks, you need to calculate in there, how much you're spending for oil change. If you're doing it yourself, just calculate for whatever the material costs to change your oil with, your oil filters, your oil and stuff like that. You need to calculate everything overall, and then once you calculate it overall, then you break it down by how many days in a month that you're gonna run, and that's how much you need to profit per day. Not just make, not gross, but profit per day. Because you could profit one thing, and your net could be something totally different, and your net still don't cover your expenses. So you did all this running for nothing. You may as well just get you a company job, be a company driver. Have you been for this? Thank you, Abe. This is my first load. This is my first load this week, man. Like I say, Monday and Tuesday. Monday didn't get nothing. Everything good. They wanted team. Tuesday is when I booked this load. I booked this yesterday. I think I waited around till like 11 o'clock, and I was like, man, if I see anything that pay over $2.50 a mile, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm gonna get it. So, boom, load popped up. I was like, that's a pretty good load. I sat there, I ran my numbers. Okay, how much I'm gonna spend on deadhead? How much I'm gonna spend overall? Man, what city am I gonna end up in? Houston? Oh, it's all kind of work in Houston. Oh yes, that's a win-win. I'm out. So, packed up, came up here last night to spend a night. That way, I can get up this morning a full 11 miles I can run to worry about running out of time. That's why I came yesterday. So, you know, I sit back, I crunch numbers, and I watch my time. I do a lot of calculations and try to figure out how could it benefit me, completely. And that's why I came up here yesterday. So then on top of that, I knew I was gonna be coming through this route, and I wanted to stop by my boy house and meet up with him. So when I got loaded on the way back down, went through Memphis, crossed over the state line into Mississippi, and went and man, we changed the oil and stuff in my truck, fueled up, set this bucket up, crazy, took off, and that's when I got pulled over. You ain't found nothing yet in Houston? Man, my phone been blowing up about loads in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Houston all day long. And like South Louisiana, like Gonzales, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, that's pretty much loads in Alabama too. So today, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Houston, a few in Alabama, a few in Memphis. But everything in Memphis is going to the East Coast. I'm not trying to go east right now. I don't mind going to the east, but I'm not trying to go at this moment. But they had loads coming out of Memphis, going to North Carolina, South Carolina, and to Georgia, which I'm cool with any of those, but just not today. If I miss anybody comment or message or whatever, I will go back and read this when I'm not driving, because I'm not gonna get into a wreck trying to read the message. But yeah, I'm probably gonna put a video out maybe tomorrow. It depends on what I get coming out of Houston. If I can find me something coming out of Houston going back north, anywhere north, then yeah, I'm gonna load up. I'm going home. Probably gonna go ahead and edit me a video and put a video out. But if I find something going, you know, either toward the East Coast or toward Dallas area or something like that, then probably not gonna put a video out. Hope everybody having a good day. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I say, get clean inspections, know the market, don't run cheap freight.